Hi everybody. I want everybody's reaction to this fight post-fight. Now that the dust is settled, Lomachenko versus Devin the Dream Haney. I want to know what everybody's thinking right now. Let's see here. I got my scorecards, everybody. So, you know, if you're wanting to see that, man, I got that ready. So yeah, everybody, I scored the fight for Vasily Lomachenko. But I'm happy for Devin Haney. Actually, I thought it was close fight. But I did think Vasily Lomachenko edged out the fight pretty clearly. In my opinion, it was 115 to 113 in favor of Vasily Lomachenko. That's how I scored it. We'll scroll through and see what people are saying. Put something in chat real quick. Hold on, everybody. There we go. I just want to know how everybody scored the fight, man. That's really what I'm here to see. I just would love to see how people were scoring this thing. Let's see. Let's look at Twitter right now, see what's going on. See what the people on Twitter are saying. I think a lot of people that I saw early were saying that Lomachenko had done enough to win the fight. Good fight, though, honestly, from Devin Haney. You know that, like, I was impressed, man. Definitely not disappointed, but I thought I just didn't see how Haney had done enough, man. After Loma rocked him in round 10. I mean, Haney was hurt multiple times in that fight. The body shots, I guess, is what did the fight in for turning in favor of Devin Haney. That had to be what it was. The body shots were pretty effective from Lomachenko. I mean, from Devin Haney. That would be, I think, the only way you give it to Loma. I mean, to Devin. Are those? Yeah, man. I'm looking right here. Everybody I'm seeing has it scored to Loma. But again, a great fight. You know what I mean? Like, I'm scrolling through here. Everybody's saying good fight. You know, that's what it was, man. Yeah, I would have scored it for Devin. I mean, for Loma. People are saying Shakur's gonna cook Devin Haney, but I don't know, man. Devin Haney's good, man. He really is. But I just think Loma looked on another level tonight. I really did. I thought Loma looked good. I thought he hurt Haney on multiple occasions. That's just how it looked to me. I thought Loma looked great. I thought Devin Haney looked good, but I thought Loma did a little bit more and looked a little bit more impressive in my personal opinion. I don't know. I'm just scrolling through Twitter, see what everybody's saying. I think a lot of people are agreeing with me here. Like, yeah, Haney looked good. Haney did well. I mean, we're discounting Haney because, we thought Loma won, but it also shows that, Devin Haney was able to stick in there with one of the best in boxing. Man, you can't leave it to the judges, man. You cannot leave it to the judges. It's just like the Cameron versus Taylor fight. That one judge earlier in the day, she gave it to or they gave it to Katie Taylor. Or well, they gave it a draw, but it was clear a Cameron win in my opinion. I'm looking at the CompuBox numbers to see. Yeah, Loma kept it close. Okay, yeah, here's some good CompuBox numbers. The numbers were very close through 8 rounds. And then in the final 3 rounds, it was a 44-17 edge in favor of Vasily Lomachenko. So I think that, Loma's last push there at the end was a strong thing for the reason a lot of people think he won. And, though, I think if you don't give Devin Haney round 12, I think he also is in a rough position. But Devin Haney had a pretty good round 12. That was a very close round 12. Yeah, the numbers, let's see here. The power punches, 95 of 314 of Loma's. And then Devin Haney had 90 of 217. And then the jabs were fairly similar. Loma had more jabs than Haney. Haney didn't really work the jab too much in this fight. And then the body punches. Oh no, this includes body punches. I thought it said total body punches. It says total body landed as well. 124 to Loma, 110 to Devin Haney. And Loma threw over 160 more strikes than Devin Haney. I think he was throwing in swarms and stuff, and that got people. That got me too thinking that. And again, it's not all about the numbers, right? I'm looking at CompuBox, but it's not just about numbers when you really think about it. There's way more to it than just numbers, but analytically speaking, it felt like the numbers kind of mattered. But I'm not mad in any way here, actually. I felt Loma did enough, but you know what? You can give it to Devin Haney and move on with it, man. But I'd love to see the rematch. You know what I mean? They brought Shakur Stevenson in the ring, but I'd like to see the rematch. Or I want to see something else for Loma, man. It's a tough way to go out being not robbed. I don't want to say robbed because that sounds like I'm totally picking Loma dominated. But I just feel like I don't know. I don't feel like you can just say that Devin Haney won this fight. I just don't see how you give it to Devin Haney. And the one judge gave it 116 to 112. That doesn't make any sense. If I'm looking at that, that's how many more rounds would that be to Devin Haney? I gave it to Loma by, let me see here. Oh, no, hold on. I gave it to Lomachenko by 7-5. That's how I saw it. I saw it 7-5, Lomachenko. That man saw it 8-4, Devin Haney. And then two of the other judges saw it 7-5 in favor of Devin Haney, which I'm okay with. Actually, I'm not okay with that, man. When you think about that, that's basically 2 rounds that they gave him over Loma. Which I felt like, if we're looking at the rounds, right? I felt round 1 was close, but I gave rounds 1 and 2 to Devin Haney, which a lot of people thought was very generous, because a lot of people were scoring those rounds to Lomachenko. And then round 3, that's the first round I gave to Lomachenko in the fight. And I even had Devin Haney take in round 4. Through 4 rounds, I had it 39-37 in favor of Devin Haney. Through 4, I thought he opened up well, and I thought he was doing really good through those first 4 rounds, and I thought they were very close, but I was just leaning towards the champion in those rounds. That's really what I was doing. And I just thought he was being a little bit better with the body punches, whereas Loma wasn't really landing those punches that were really snapping Devin Haney's head back. Those weren't really landing until that later section of the rounds 8-12. Loma was rocking Devin Haney. But in those first 4, there wasn't really much in terms of volume from Loma. And then I gave Loma rounds 5 and 6. So I had it even at round 6. I had it 3-3 at round 6. 57-57 by round 6. And then I gave round 7 to Devin Haney. I gave rounds 8, 9, 10, 11 to Lomachenko. I think that those were the best rounds and most convincing rounds of the fight to either fighter. And I think that that's why we're seeing the robbery claims and the, every time you take over towards the end of a fight, it's the feeling of domination. Same thing with Caleb Plant versus David Benavidez. That fight was relatively close until, the last 5 rounds. And then, Benavidez poured it on and won every single round. When you're taking rounds, obviously, that's when people get really, robbery. Because those were the most obvious rounds of the fight. Were 8, 9, 10, and 11. Those 4 rounds. And then 12, I thought, went back in favor of Devin Haney. But that's how I scored it, 115-113 in favor of Vasily Lomachenko. That's just, you could definitely give it to Devin Haney. Like, some of the rounds, like round 3, I guess you might give to Devin Haney. They really gave Devin Haney most of those rounds when you really think about it. If you're scoring this fight to Devin Haney, especially the rounds that was, the scorecard that was 116, 112, that would be 8 rounds to 4, which would be pretty much all in favor. Like, if I'm looking at this, and I got to give more rounds to Devin Haney, I guess he gave him rounds 3 and rounds 6, 5 and 6, I guess, maybe. That had to be it. He had to get rounds 5, 6, and 3 on those judges' scorecards. It just had to be. I don't see any other way. Like, you cannot give him rounds 8, 9, 10, or 11. You can give him round 12, and I think that that's the majority of what people gave him. I gave him round 12. Like, I don't think anybody's disputing that. Very close fight. Very close fight. But I don't know. Very close fight. I just want to know how everybody scored the fight. I really do. That's what I've been looking for people to be like talking about it. On Twitter, they're going crazy. Yeah, people are calling it a robbery. I don't know if I see it as a robbery. I see it as a close fight, though. That's what happens in close fights, man. You can't leave it to the judges in combat sports in a very close fight. Especially when one guy's the champion, man. It's just not how it works. I know it shouldn't be that way, but it just is. Dang, Loma's crying backstage, man. That's a sad sight to see, honestly. But you know what? I'm happy for Devin Haney as well. He fought good. He did. I just felt Vasily Lomachenko fought a little bit better. Shakur Stevenson said that Loma should have won the fight. It's fair, man. I really did. I thought Loma won, man. I really did. I don't know if it's dirty judges made. The only judge that would have been dirty, I feel like, it's the 116, 112. That judge is crazy, man. I feel bad for Loma because I would score for Loma. And I was rooting for Loma, man, because, you know, Devin Haney's so young, man, 24, 23 maybe. He can recover from this, man. You know what I mean? For Loma, it's going to be a lot harder to recover from, dude. But I felt like it's a good learning experience for Devin Haney. Especially if he's going out there and fighting another southpaw like Shakur Stevenson, who's very similar to Vasily Lomachenko. But I don't know. I feel like Shakur might be a little bit downgraded of the Loma that we saw tonight. Shakur's really good, but I don't know. I feel like Vasily Lomachenko just is on another level, man. And I feel like Devin Haney, though, will now learn from this fight for sure. There's definitely things that Devin Haney can correct and do much better in a fight against Sugar. I guess they're calling him Sugar Shakur now. But there's definitely things he can do better in a Shakur Stevenson matchup. And also a Tank Davis matchup. That'd be an interesting fight. But you know, Tank wouldn't be that same type of, you know, movement fighter that Loma and Shakur are. You know, it's not the greatest look for the sport of boxing. I'll put it that way. That's all I'll say. I feel like the sport of boxing needs clear decisions. But you know what? Like, that's why you kind of just got to be invested in the sport to know that stuff like this just happens. Like, it's sad on Loma's side. It's sad on, you know, it's actually sad on Devin Haney's side as well, people. Like, I know Devin Haney gets the win, but there's an asterisk next to it. I think a lot of people would rather just win cleanly. I thought Loma was going to get him out of there in round 11, though. I really did. I thought Loma had him hurt bad. I mean, he was rocking him all over the place. And this person says boxing is the, you know, the worst sport for a reason. Dude. You know, though, you can't be criticizing boxing, man. It was a good fight. You know what I mean? It was the chess match we all expected. What can you say about it? Chess match? Competitive? I thought it was fun, man. Devin Haney had some good body work, and I think the body work is what actually gave Devin Haney the win in this fight. It had to be the body work in Devin Haney's favor that won him this fight. Because the punches to the head just was not doing much for Devin Haney in this one. But the body work was, man. He was hurt. I felt like Loma was hurt a couple of times to the body, especially in that 12th round. Because Loma was just absorbing those body shots. And I've never seen somebody eat those body shots, man. Ryan Garcia should take a lesson from that one, man. But again, Devin Haney can learn from it, man. You can really learn from it, really. You really can in boxing. See, everybody's calling it a robbery, you know. MMA fans are loving it. I hate it for the sport. I'm an MMA fan, but I hate it for the sport of boxing. I actually really like the sport of boxing. It's just a shame that some things like this do happen. It just is the way it is in boxing. And I don't know. Yeah, well, you know, 116, 112, that is a robbery. That scorecard was a robbery. But the other two, I'm okay with. Personally, that's not how I saw it at all. I would have been more in favor of a draw. I could see how you score at 6-6. I could see how you score at 114 to 114. I don't really see how you score 113, 115 in Devin Haney's favor. I just don't. I don't see how that was Devin Haney's. I said it right there, man. Big night in boxing ends with controversy, man. Dude, that's how the sport ends up going, man. That seems to be how it goes. I don't know why that's how it goes in boxing, man. They just cannot. That's why I did enjoy Tank Davis versus Ryan Garcia, because there was just a clear winner. Man. Can't say much about him. Really can't. It's crazy, like, I don't know why, just big time boxing matches just, like, it lived up to the hype in terms of the fight. They always do. I feel like most fights are actually really good in boxing, other than your, like, Pacquiao versus Mayweather's. I feel like a lot of fights do end up being really good in boxing. You know what I mean? The Gervonta Tank Davis versus Ryan Garcia fight, that was extremely hyped up, but it lived up to the hype. I mean, it wasn't some snooze fest that Tank Davis glided to a decision. He went out there and he did what he does. The same thing with the Caleb Plant versus David Benavidez fight. That fight was very hyped up, and I felt like that fight really delivered. That fight was insane. There's been some good boxing matches this year, and this might have been up there with my favorite boxing matches of the year. It really might have been up there with some of my favorite boxing matches of the year. But then again, you start getting into we're in some of those robbery claims, and that's why it's a shame that a lot of these fights go to decision. Tank Davis took it out on his own, no controversy right there. Close fight. Definitely a close fight, man. Let's see here. Yeah, thank everybody for watching too, by the way. I do want to say that as well. For everybody that's watching, it does mean a lot to me. Your support is always appreciated, everybody. And now that I got my laptop up and running again, we could be doing more live streams, because it's much better. It's much better now, everybody. So, for anybody who's watching, man, thanks so much, man. It really does mean a lot. You know what? Like, I enjoy mixed martial arts, boxing. I enjoy combat sports so much, and I just love talking about them. So to get on here with fans, or not fans, but like-minded people, it's always great to be here, man. And if there's an audience that is out here listening to me on my combat sports takes, it's always going to be appreciated. It really is. Like, we've grown the channel. Like, really, when you look at my channel, it has grown significantly since I've started doing combat sports videos, man. I mean, I just thank everybody who's here watching, man. I really do. Dude, I don't know why it's shocking to me. It's like, I don't know why you guys listen to my takes on combat sports and MMA and boxing, but it's always appreciated. It really is. Like, I like to just get on here, like-minded people, talk to them on how stuff is going, and with me getting my laptop back up, man, gonna be golden. Gonna be gold. At some point, we're gonna be doing live watch-alongs, hopefully. At some point in time. I'm trying to think. Next weekend is Wood versus Lara 2. Maybe I do a watch party on that, because I know I did one What's the fight I did a watch along on a couple weeks ago? The one in Tulsa. What's the boxing match? Isaac Dogboe. Oh my gosh. Who did Isaac Dogboe just fight? Let me see. I got a pocket full of sunshine. I got a pocket full of sunshine. Let's see here. Let's see, what was it? It was Robeisy Ramirez. That's what it was. Robeisy Ramirez versus Isaac Dogboe. That was a great fight. Did a live watch along for that. I also did a PFL Week 1 live watch along, but you know what? The Robeisy Ramirez fight was definitely more watched. Let's put it that way. Dude, it's just like, I feel like the watch alongs, I feel like people like the watch alongs, man. You know, normally I like to watch my combat sports by myself, but you know what? If I can commentate, that's just fine too. Boom, 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 boom. Let me see. Let me put a poll out in the chat. Also gonna try and put it on the hold on everybody. Camera is in the way, so here we go. There we go, dude. This is much better. Start a poll here. I'm making a poll right now. I want to see what everybody's thoughts are on this fight. Just put who won. You guys can put in who you think won. Loma or it's Haney. Sorry, it's 1:30 in the morning. Get tired out here. Dude, did I just spell Lomachenko wrong? Are you kidding me? Okay, everybody. We'll leave that out in the chat. I want to see everybody's reactions. I want to see how everybody's scoring on this fight. I've got a pocket full of sunshine. It's cold in my room, man. I'd love to see how everybody scored this fight. While we're looking at that, yeah, just put in chat who you guys thought won the fight. I'd love to know. Like, am I crazy for thinking Lomachenko won this fight? Maybe I am. That'd be crazy. Like, I don't know. I just feel like Loma won the fight. Yeah, no, I'm just gonna scroll through a little bit now. While everybody is chilling. Let's see here. Looks like, yeah, on Twitter, man, it's very in favor of Lomachenko. Yeah, man. Loma, I don't think Loma was in the right headspace after that, during that interview. You know, tough time, man. Tough times for Loma. When you think you win a fight and then it's, controversial and you're getting older, man. Especially against these young guys. I mean, these guys are young in the lightweight division. Ryan Garcia's like 23. Tank Davis is like 27, and he's an older guy. The undisputed champion of the world is 24 years old. So I mean, it cannot feel good to lose a fight when you're 34 or whatever he is. Maybe 30. Man, is he older than that? Like, in MMA, that's not too old. You're getting up there, especially definitely in the lightweight division, but even in mixed martial arts, the lightweight division, and in an equivalent weight class at bantamweight, you're pretty old if you're, 30, 34. You're not the oldest thing in the world, but let's see here. I've got a pocket full of sunshine. Yeah, I've got a pocket full of sunshine, but I'm bound. Yeah, I'll probably hop off here at about 2 in the morning. Yeah, he's 35. I still think he's the best lightweight in the world. You know what? After the Kambosos fight, after the Kambosos fight for Devin Haney, I really thought Devin Haney was on another level. He blacked out for a second. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Move the camera back. Move the camera back. Like this camera angle might be a little too weird. A little too weird, everybody. Okay, let's see here. I don't know what it's trying to get me to do on here. See Devin Haney's backtrack as well. Dude, I really feel like Vasily Lomachenko won that fight. I really felt like Vasily Lomachenko won that fight. An unanimous decision, man? Come on, dude. I just doesn't feel like, come on, dude. We get split decisions all the time. All the time, dude. I would have been, like okay with a split decision. But the fact that they made it unanimous, be like, oh, Devin Haney dominated. I should really like Devin Haney, man. I just didn't feel like he won that fight. I feel like he should be 29-1, but 30-0 already for Devin Haney. I feel like he's got to move up, to be honest. Just because his Devin Haney is struggling to make the weight. That was probably his least impressive performance to date. If you're looking at his thing, both the George Kambosos fights, he looked better. The second George Kambosos fight, I thought he looked better than the first one, even though a lot of people thought, that a lot of people preferred that first George Kambosos fight, more of a shutout. But the second one, he was more violent, and I felt like that more resonated with me, in my opinion. The Joseph Diaz fight, I mean, like, he's been defending the WBC title for a long time. Riorkis Gamboa, Alfred Santiago, Zerao Abdullah, Tony Moran. Like, he doesn't have too many impressive wins when you look at the resume. Like, let's be real. Let's just be real about the whole thing. I'll say those George Kambosos fights made me really think higher of Devin Haney. those fights, the fights that he had with George Kambosos made me really think that Devin Haney was like on another level. And everybody kept talking about Loma. And I was like, yeah, Loma's good, but can he really go out there and beat Devin Haney? That's what I was thinking of. That was my honest opinions, especially after the second George Kambosos fight, when the jab was just tearing up Kambosos, and he just looked too fast. The range was there. Everything was there for Devin Haney. And after that fight, I was like, nobody's beating this man. Not even Loma. Everybody's like, Loma's coming back and beating him. I didn't see, especially after the Jermaine Ortiz fight. Especially after the Jermaine Ortiz fight for Loma, I really was like, no way. There's no way this dude comes back and beats Devin Haney. And then he came back and looked insanely good against Devin Haney. I don't know what it was. You know what? Like, I think those George Kambosos fights made everybody think Devin Haney's a little bit higher up than he is. Devin Haney's great, and he went toe to toe with Vasily Lomachenko now. And so don't get me wrong, he's good, but I think I was overthinking how good Devin Haney was, man. Loma's just good, man. He just is good, honestly. He's just a very good fighter. Devin Haney's a great fighter, though, too. Like, people think I'm bashing Devin by saying that Lomachenko, I felt like, won the fight. Which is not that way. You can think Lomachenko won the fight and think that Devin Haney's an incredible boxer that went the distance and arguably won the fight. That's how I look at him. I don't look at Devin Haney like, dang, Devin Haney, some bad fight. No, I look at it like, he went toe to toe with who I think is the best fighter in the world. So, I mean, what can you do about him? Impressive by Devin Haney. Honestly, people out here acting like I'm bashing Devin Haney. Like, come on, I'm not bashing Devin Haney. Devin Haney's amazing, and the fight showed it tonight. Like, you don't just do that to Lomachenko and have a close fight like that with Loma, and not be in a amazing fighter. Like, you know what I mean? The fact that it was a close fight means that Loma's great. It means that Devin's great. If you guys want to, you can vote in the poll that I put in the chat. Also, I'm available to talk about the UFC. I know it's not on the top of everybody's minds because it wasn't really the greatest card today. Let's just be honest. Mackenzie Dern versus Angela Hill. That's a rough one. Edmund Shabazian, dude. Edmund Shabazian, rip to the man, Edmund Shabazian. Lupi Gordinez, Anthony Hernandez, Emily Decote, Andre Filio. Joaquin Buckley had a good fight, to be honest. Michael Johnson did, rest in peace, Michael Johnson. I was sad. That was sad, Michael Johnson. Sorry, I'm talking about UFC, man. I know everybody's probably talking about the Devin Haney fight. But yeah, if you guys want to, put it in chat. Vote in the poll who you guys think won the fight. I would love to see everybody's opinion on it. I'm interested. I'm interested to see what the chat thinks about who won this fight. I'm very interested. I feel like Loma did enough. I feel like Loma took it 115, 113. I got my score totals right here, everybody. Look at that. That right there is high tech right there. That's the score totals, in my opinion. You could pause it on that if you'd like. But that right there is how I scored this fight. Look, I couldn't find a pencil, couldn't find a pen, so please don't go crazy that it was written in green magic marker. That's the fight. That's how I saw it, at least. With some very debatable rounds. Rounds 2, rounds 1 even. A lot of people had Loma up 3-0 at the start. I was very, very, very good to Devin Haney, I felt like. A lot of the rounds I saw people giving Devin Haney on Twitter, I was giving to Lomachenko. But I was also scrolling through Twitter, and I saw one guy had an 8-1 Devin Haney, so I didn't know what was going on. In the 9th round, he had the 8th round as the first round he gave to Lomachenko, which that just made me just die laughing. But it honestly, like, all these rounds were really close. Like, I feel like 1 through pretty much 7 could swing either way. But I feel like 8, 9, and 11, 10 and 11, those four right there, from 8 to 11, in my opinion. 8 to 11 all went to Lomachenko. And was a majority of the reason I felt like Devin Haney lost the fight. Those rounds right there, that stretch from 8 to 11 convinced me. And then, you know what? They, again, if they don't give round 12 to Devin Haney, this fight's a draw. And I felt like a draw would have been more fair. I could see how you scored a draw. I really can. Looking at my scorecard, though, I don't know which fight you give Devin Haney. Which rounds. Because, again, rounds 8 through 11, undeniably Lomachenko. Rounds 12, that round obviously went to Devin Haney, in my opinion, but it was debatable. Rounds 1, 2, 3, and 4, I only gave rounds 3 to Lomachenko. I had it 39-37 through 4 rounds in favor of Devin Haney. A lot of people gave some of those early rounds to Loma. I didn't. I only gave him round 3, which I felt like was very, pretty, generous. Like, I felt like he could have won more of those rounds, and I also felt like he obviously won round 3, in my opinion. And I gave round 4 to Devin Haney. I gave rounds 5 and 6 to Lomachenko, which I guess that must have been one of some of those contended rounds in there. It must have been up to 5 and 6, to be honest, because I gave round 7 to Devin Haney, which means if we're thinking about it, it had to be rounds 5 and 6. I'm trying to think. Those were very close rounds, I felt like. That's, I think, where the disconnect starts with people, is rounds 5 and 6. I think some of those early rounds can swing in favor, and then I feel like rounds 5 and 6 could also swing in favor, but that's when you were really, if you were picking Devin Haney, you're banking on the fact he took the early rounds and he took rounds 5 and 6. Because it's got to be, and 7, I guess, so you pretty much think he's won rounds 1 through 7 and rounds 12. Is that what I'm thinking? Hold on. Let me put up the scorecard. Let me think what that would be. Sorry, I'm doing math over here.